Okay. Well, indeed we are here. Welcome to the Hamityville Horror. Thank you for visiting. I am Clint.
I am Don.
And we are joined here with three very special guests. We have one, Mr. Chuck Ryan. We have Darren Pastor, and we have Christina Munn here tonight. All of which are connected directly to a fan film that we called Valentine's Bluffs. Sorry, Valentine Bluffs. I keep screwing that up. Sorry about that. And of course, that is a direct sequel to the original My Bloody Valentine from 1981. So, unfortunately, we couldn't have Tom here tonight, but that's okay. We're going to make do here. We got the miner over here up in the corner. So, I just want to say there's a couple of people that we know who are directly connected to this film also, that I think that they kind of like contributed to the project, and they were very excited when this came out, and at least one of them wanted us to get together and do a talk about this movie. Of course, Matt Skinner up there in Canada, and Peter Anthony over there in Connecticut.
Yep, good guys.
Good guys.
Yeah, they are good guys, and
very supportive.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we hear something out of Matt just about every single day on our Facebook page.
Every day. Jesus, every hour.
Yeah, every hour. Yeah, he's a really good guy. So anyhow, I wanted to hop into it and say that My Bloody Valentine had a very interesting look to it when that movie was made. I mean, it had like a grittiness, it had a darkness, it had just a feel to it. And my first impression, just in the first couple of minutes of Valentine Bluffs, was that look seemed to be recreated pretty close to like the original, and I assume that was the intention. Were you trying to recreate like the look of the original movie when you got into this?
Yeah, we wanted to capture that look for sure, and it's a testament to John Picos' cinematography, and just some of the settings that we used. Definitely wanted to maintain that feel, have that look. So thank you for saying that.
Okay.
So yeah, definitely.
Damn it.
Being there, it didn't seem like that as well as it looked on the final.
Damn it.
You know what I mean? Being in the mine and stuff like that.
Clint, what are you doing? You're messing this up. He's frozen. Anyway, sorry,
okay.
Darren, keep going.
No, I just say, when we were finally done with it, we got to see the final version. I got the same feeling watching it because, you're behind the camera, you're there when they're filming, but you don't know what it's going to look like when it's done. And I thought John did an amazing job on it.
Oh, the aesthetic in the movie it's second to none. I mean, seriously. I mean, like Clint said, the grittiness, the dirtiness, it's one of those movies where it's like, I got to take a shower after watching this, just because it's the gritty feeling of it. And yeah, you captured it. I mean, to a T. I mean, honestly. And
yeah.
And one of the other things I wanted to ask, and again, hopefully Chuck, you can answer this. What made you guys really want to do a sequel to My Bloody Valentine? I mean, obviously they had a remake that as good, was still pretty good. I mean, let's all face it, it wasn't horrible, but what greenlit a sequel? What lit a fire to do a sequel to My Bloody Valentine?
Well, the original My Bloody Valentine is always a favorite of Tom's, and it just had this idea for a long time. Want to do a fan film, a movie to pay homage to the original movie, and it's not only is one of his favorites, it's my favorite slasher film as well. So we we started reaching out, getting the right people involved who were also fans of the original. So we all had this like-minded um, vision to participate in doing this and making this. So but that all started with Tom, and just got to give huge props to him for uh, inviting us all in to share in his dream project here. And it was quite a ride. It was great to be a part of that, and to see it all come together. We faced some challenges like every film project does.
Of course.
And but everybody, it was a long ride. A lot of people made this film happen, and to see it now in its completion is just it makes you feel so good, knowing that everybody had their part to play in it, and see it on the screen and on YouTube available for everyone to watch now is a dream come true. So yeah.
Darren, you want to add on to that?
Yeah, Tom and I and Roland Collar, one of the producers, also an actor in the film, and we were working on another project before this. And when it was coming to an end, Tom had pitched the ideas to me if I was interested. And yeah, I didn't even know he really liked the movie. I mean, we're all horror fans, but when he said that, I said, man, I'm in. Let me know where I got to be, what we got to do, and then started all the talking to other people, and we were really surprised. I mean, once Chuck got on board, that really helped us, because now we had the main character, you know what I mean. And in one way, Tom and I were talking as far as the effects go. I mean, you can't get better than what Chuck brought to the table. I mean, he had everything. He had all the costumes. He had the pics. He had everything. So right there, that's a cost savings from a budget point of view, and and as soon as we started talking to other people and they were reaching out, people were just jumping on board because they were all fans of it as well. And so it was a fun ride. It really was. It was a long ride. It took us almost 3 years, I guess, 2 to 3 years to finish it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Sorry, I had some technical difficulties there. I had to hop out and basically restart my computer.
Oh, we know your ass was just boom.
It was
gone.
it was gone.
You were like,
a
damn, all we heard was damn, and then gone. So no, you're fine.
So I walked into that late. So was I hearing, Chuck, that you're a cosplayer and you recreated the costume for the miner?
Yeah. I come from a cosplay background, so
Okay.
I had already had the costume done, and when Tom had reached out to me initially, wanted to know if I wanted to be a part of the project. I'm like, oh, I don't know who this guy is. Is he making movies in his backyard with a camcorder or what? And,
Yes.
got to talking with him, and I just played cool, and I said, okay, yeah, I think that'd be something I'd be interested in. And then after a little while, he got back to me with a script, and I was blown away. I said, wow, I'm in. I want to be involved in this. And then yeah, I made some of the props, not all of them, for the movie, but the costume, the pickaxe I had, and then we had some other help too. Like Darren was our one of our special effects guys, along with Tom, and he helped create some really cool things. Rigged up that. Well, we'll get into that. I'm sure we'll get into that kill a little bit later.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and then um, lost my thought. Yeah, I had the pickaxes, and that came in handy too, because it's a big deal. We wanted to have that same look, have the same style pickaxes in the original, as well as the look of the miner. That's what we were going for with the sequel. So
Yeah. No. I love that.
Yeah.
Like a painstaking recreation, of something. There's nothing worse than seeing something that kind of looks like what you're trying to do, but you can definitely tell it was picked up, like at Walmart or something from the camping section or whatever. So
Damn. Hey, you know what? Some of that stuff's pretty good, man.
some
Those
of
are
it's cool, but
they make good shit.
but they're taking this seriously here. So was it a major challenge, to recreate the get up of the miner? Because it seems to me like some of that is like time period specific, you know.
yeah, there's a lot of equipment that is not being made anymore, that you have to seek out and find and then modify, like the gas mask, for instance. If you're lucky enough to find one of those, they don't come looking like you see it in the movie. There's some different mods that need to be made as far as the hose, and you have to tint the lenses, with window film, and um, there's a couple other things with it too. So yeah, it was kind of tricky doing some of that stuff, but I'm really particular with a lot of the cosplays that I put together, some of my other costumes and whatnot. So I like the challenge of researching and finding out how to make things and how to achieve this specific look. And I gotta say, Peter Cowper, that played the original, miner in the original film. He was a help with some of that too, and befriended him a while back, and just started talking to him about some of the different aspects of the character, the look of the character, the pieces of the costume. So it was fun to do. It was fun to do, and most of that I had already knocked out, before we even before contacted me. But then that finesse and get some of those finer details polished off when it came to starting to do the movie.
Wow.
And the costume was very difficult to get into. I helped him many times getting into it, especially all the mine scenes. And you know that's a wearing that mask is extremely tight. I know he couldn't see very well in it, but he did it. I mean, and then when we would take it off when we would take a break. I mean, it would just be a flood of just
Sweat.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Wet and disgustingness. Yeah. Darren was a big help, because it's one of those. It's a costume you can get in by yourself, but it definitely saves time having someone assist you. And there's certain things like the light on the helmet. If that fell to the ground, it probably wouldn't work. It's an old fashioned incandescent bulb that's in
Gotcha.
there, and some people swap that out for like a newer LED bulb or something.
LED,
So
yeah.
if that fell, I had a spare, but it's a hassle trying to crack that open. It's not just like putting a new bulb in a flashlight or something,
Yeah.
and same with there's a respirator that connects there's a hose that connects from the respirator up to the gas mask, and I rigged up a little fan inside there to help push fresh air to get some of the condensation out, and just fresh air. So that kind of keeps that moisture at bay for a little while, but eventually it just
Mhm.
starts creeping in no matter what you can do. So you've got limited vision when you're wearing that, like Darren knows. And once I get all in the get up, sometimes depending on where we're filming, I got to have someone kind of take me by the arm and just like, okay, come here. And you just need to be aware of your
Right.
surroundings,
Yeah.
because especially carrying the pickaxe and stuff, you don't want to bop somebody that
Yeah.
in the face or in the stomach or something accidentally. So
Was it
but
difficult enough? You
yeah,
had to
it's not
count
it's not
steps
a
to find your
comfortable
mark?
costume to wear, but um not starting on my mark, but certain scenes that we did, I from starting on a mark. Yeah, for a certain scene, there was a couple things I had to just get the timing right. If I was doing a swing with the pickaxe or something, just to you want it to be natural, but yet you've got to end up in the right place. So, for doing a certain shot. So, but yeah, Darren was great, helping me in and out of that costume. It was a little cumbersome.
We also
but
too,
it's
when
nice having good help.
when we filmed some of those scenes too, even if we were using, one of the pickaxes that are, out of foam, we had closed sets. We didn't have anyone on set because like he's swinging it around, and although we had it rehearsed as far as where he's going to swing, we didn't want anyone to get hurt. So there's a lot of choreography that way, and and again, not being able to see, I don't know how you did it.
Yeah, it's tricky, but it's also it's trusting the people that are around you, and they know. So there's trust on both ends. But I remember there's a scene in the mine. There's the end fight scene, the final fight scene in the mine, where I we had to do a master shot of the entire fight through and through, and there's a lot of swinging around there, and we cover a lot of ground. Jeff Swisher, who plays the TJ character, so we're all over the place, and both of us, he's swinging a shovel around, I'm swinging a pickaxe around, and I when I was doing the scene, I didn't want to have to think about anyone else like on set where they would be, because I had to be concentrating on what I was doing with Jeff 100%. So I made sure, even though it probably sounded lame, I'm like, okay, everybody, make sure you stay way back, because I'm going to be swinging this thing around, and sounded like, everybody's dad. Okay, don't do this now.
Hey, you got to
Stay
do
away
that
from
though.
me. But yeah, and it worked out good. Didn't have any major incidents, any accidents or anything like that. So
Well, it's
but
always
yeah.
a great thing.
Yeah, that's always a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Had this many days with 0 work accidents.
Yeah, right.
So the original was shot up in Nova Scotia. Did I read that this was filmed in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania?
No, we did the premiere.
Premiered it there.
It was
Right.
filmed in New Jersey, parts of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, up near Pittston. Yeah, the original was filmed in Nova Scotia, but they never really tell you in the movie that it's Nova Scotia.
Right.
So, so it was kind of, and plus when we were filming it, COVID was going on. So it was even hard enough. We had to have COVID compliant officer on set, and if we did want to go to Canada, because they had the 40th anniversary, and Tom and I were talking early on that we were going to try to have a trailer done for this film, not completed, and then have it shown up in Canada at the premiere that they were having up there. And with COVID happening and everything was shut down, it really hampered everything.
Yeah. Oh, certainly. Well, not to nerd out too much, but I heard that perhaps some of the scenes were shot in actual mines. So is that true?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We filmed in the Pioneer Mine, which is Darren, I forget which city that's located in. Do you remember?
There,
it's in Pennsylvania. Right?
It's in Wilkes-Barre area, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Eastern Pennsylvania.
I don't quote me on this, but I think we were 300 feet down, 800 feet in, I believe, for the majority. And then we had actually the opening sequence with where the credits are rolling in the beginning. That's our ride in every day when we were down there filming. We'd ride that in, and we're bringing our equipment in and lighting and everything. And if you notice, there's like water dropping on us as we're coming down. And it was cold and very damp.
Yeah.
Sounds like Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it was definitely real mine. Yep.
You mentioned compliance, and this is where I'm going to sound like a dork, but in my line of work, at one point I had to make deliveries to a job site that had a mine on site, and if you were within a certain number of feet of the mine, you had to get like an MSHA certification. So I was just curious if you had to adhere to any specific regulations where you had to like have MSHA certified people on set to basically accompany you into the mine to do the filming.
No, we did have a foreman that was there. He was on site all the time, and he drove the mine cart in with all of us and all of our gear and everything. He'd drive us in, and then they'd hang out there and and watch us film. And when it's time to head back out to take a break or when we're done at the end of the day, he'd come back out. So there weren't any. It was just a lot of common sense stuff. I remember we weren't supposed to have nothing nothing flammable. I mean, just stuff like that with inside a mine where there could be methane
Right.
build up in gases and things like that. So just a lot of common sense stuff. We weren't told anything, no real hard. Yeah, okay, don't go here. Don't, what we wanted to be able to do in the mine, which was nice. We had, we were wearing face masks and stuff with the COVID, all the time. And like Darren said, we had COVID compliance officer on site all the time. So some of that stuff made things a little, more time consuming when you're doing the filming and stuff. But
Doing the
that was
makeup
really
too.
Yeah.
what was that, Darren?
Doing the makeup with trying to wear a mask and you're right on top of it.
Yeah.
Wearing
Right.
glasses and they fog up and it was miserable.
Yeah. But the production value inside there was you couldn't cheat that anywhere else. I mean, it was incredible. It was damp, it was cold, and
Oh, I'm sorry, Ed.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it was really cold and damp. And I remember Rachel in the end where she had her hand nailed back in there. She was laying on the real ground, nothing. And because the previous scene, Chuck had beat her up in the studio and she had socks on. So we had to continue that there. And I felt so bad for her. Any opportunity we had that we could pick her up, put something under her feet, we had to. And then, she was freezing.
I bet.
She never complained. We were cold just looking at her, but she never complained. She's a trooper,
Yeah, for sure.
Must be really trippy spending hours underground. I mean, then you make your way up top again. Feel like a mole,
It was funny because we were the one day we were filming. My wife had called me. I was up at the surface, and I said, we'll probably be about another hour, and I was about 2 hours or plus from home, and I was going to commute back home when I was done. And I said, about an hour. Well, that hour turned into about 6. And my wife panicked because she kept calling me, but in the mine, your phone doesn't work, and I'm way down and deep. And because I say, I'll be no problem, we're done. Well, what happened? We got down the mine and we were running short of time. And I remember the one foreman said, hey, you guys want, I don't know exactly what we did, but he gave us a couple extra hours for free because we had to pay to be there. And he extended our time and we took advantage of it. And, it really helped, paid out at the end.
Right.
But didn't help me when I got home trying to explain to my wife what happened.
No, that's there's nothing you can say.
I'm just worried now.
Yeah. She's like, I thought you were dead.
Yeah, I just love how he says when I got to the surface, I made a call like, damn, that's
what I did. Yeah, she's like, 1 hour. We laugh about it now. It's funny, but
well, I remember that first day we filmed at the mine. It was like I think 80 degrees outside, and so it's a huge changeover once you. I mean, you can, when you're standing near the entrance, you can feel that cold air just pouring out of the mine. And then once you go in there, it takes a little while to acclimate, but you've got to be dressed properly for sure. I don't know. I could definitely see how some people could get claustrophobic being in a place like that.
Oh yeah.
I loved it. I did spend days in there. But it was fun.
Good on you. I get weird without a window.
Yeah, no thanks.
Oh, it was. And then the exits. If there was ever a emergency exit, they have these tiny little narrow things. Like my shoulders would barely fit through it. And you would climb up these tiny little ladders. And several times the foreman that came down, we needed the cars in the scene, so he needed to go to the surface. So he climbed to the surface. And I remember I think I got some pictures of like trying to look up where he was going. It just looked like the oldest, nastiest place you ever want to be. You know, cobwebs and water, it just was really nasty. But he climbed up, did it a couple times actually.
Huh.
No thanks.
Wow.
No
Yeah.
thanks.
It's spooky.
I
down
won't be
there.
in the third one, so don't ask me. So Flint nerded out, so I have to nerd out,
Yeah,
and this
go
is
ahead.
this is for Christina because, you come from I want to say small Maryland town called Catonsville, which
Yeah.
is hilarious because I grew up in Arbutus, so
Oh,
I
nice.
know exactly where you are, where you were. So
Uh-huh.
that's hilarious. So I told Clint, I said, I got to bring that up because I'm like, that's
Small
my neck of
world.
the woods. Absolutely. And obviously we're going to bring up Ginger because, I don't want to spoil anything, but damn it. She has one of the most gnarliest deaths I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm not going to spoil what it is because that's all I'll say. Go watch the movie, but
Yeah, you definitely need to see it.
It was so much fun.
how was dealing with that?
It was great. For everything from the beginning process of the prosthetics and everything to the whole final filming it and everything with the blood. I won't give too much away, but it was great.
That was your first life cast, right?
Yeah, it was.
No, you did great. Yeah. Most people kind of
Thank
freak
you.
out when they get their face casted, but she never flinched.
Wow.
No, I
Really
was
good.
fine.
Yeah.
I want to do it again.
Oh boy.
Cut my head off or something.
Yeah. Well, that kill to me looked like a real callback, to like a very famous kill in the original movie. Like I would dare say the opening sequence, like the credit scene. And it just there's slight variation, but I mean at the same time, it was very similar. I felt that was recreated very well, and I just want to say that pickaxe kill was brutal and disgusting,
But it was beautiful.
and absolutely amazing. I mean, it looked fantastic. Like I cringed at one point. I mean, it looked so real. I was like, wow.
She was good. I mean, the mechanism that was in her mouth that made everything work, and and then the appliance is a foam latex appliance, so it was breathable. But but yeah, you did great on that, and we filmed that for a while. And actually, when we filmed it, when she was screaming, I think it was like 11, 12 o'clock at night, it was dark. And we were actually, where it's being filmed, there's a police station and like a VFW on the same location. So she's screaming. The police know that because they were involved in all the other scenes we had.
Well, that's fortunate.
Yeah, and but no, as she's screaming, there's all men on set except for Liz, our AD, and obviously her. And then some woman just kind of walked out of nowhere and yelled at us and said, "What are you doing to her? Back off."
That's right.
There was like 12 of
great.
us guys, and this one little woman comes up. I was like, wow, she's brave, or she has a gun,
Yeah.
And she was worried about Christina. Like, why is she screaming?
Uh-huh.
And what did she say to
It
us?
was
She said,
very sweet.
didn't she say,
She came to my rescue.
she said, I thought you guys were filming a hip hop video. I don't know where that came from. But
What
I don't know,
Yeah.
what the hell hip hop video has that shit in there? Because I need to see that one.
I don't know. But I just thought that
God.
woman, kudos to her for trying to defend someone that she didn't know.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Hey, kudos
Sounds
to
like
you
a real
guys too.
spitfire.
Kudos to you guys too. Especially, Darren, I mean, the special effects in this movie are absolutely insane. I mean, that's one of the things that really drew us to it and drew a lot of people to it was the practical effects in this. That goes a long way. And if you go back and watch any of our episodes when we talk to people, practical effects are huge. I mean, because it's, you see CG blood and it's like, guys, look, it doesn't take that much to get real blood. I understand sometimes maybe you have to, but that should never ever be something that's a regular thing in a movie. And your effects were pure insanity. So kudos to you
Tom,
Tom. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Um,
Tom actually has a blood formula. It's actually his own formula. I honestly don't really know what it is. It's that private, he's not keeping it secret, but
sure.
Whatever it is, it works really well. It comes out of everything, so when it's on your clothes, no matter what it is, it always comes out.
Oh, wow.
We have two versions of it. One you can put in your mouth and one you can't. But it films well. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It makes something to look good. It's in your hands, and then when you put it under lighting, it looks completely different.
Yeah.
Even Christina's appliance on her face, we were concerned, are you going to be able to see where pieces fit, because the lighting and everything now is high def, and although the version we release is only a 2K version,
2K,
we have a 4K version, but for some reason we couldn't get it to upload to YouTube for some reason. I guess we were having issues. They were flagging it. That was for Tom and I, it was the most difficult thing, trying to make sure that we wanted to make sure everything was done practically. We don't, and even a lot of the scenes too that some people had said to me about being CG, like some of the reflections, like you had, Chuck, with the mask. I think that was real reflections in some of the scenes, like when the one scene with Rachel. I think when Zach was laying down, I think you could see the blood or something. You could see reflection in it, or I might get it confused, but a lot of the stuff we didn't use any sort of CG. We just wanted to make sure, we wanted to make it as true to the original, keeping it like that. And I think it worked out pretty well. We had took a lot of work and a lot of planning. And having a good cast to work with is important. Is trying to do something like that on an actress or actor that doesn't like stuff on their face and they're constantly fidgeting,
pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Lay there and take it.
Yeah.
Well, we feel like that's the mark of a good indie film, because you're always working on a budget. You never have as much money as you want or you need.
Never.
So you're having to make decisions and prioritize where you want to spend your money the smartest and how you want it to look. And the fact that you achieved the look that you were going for and you had such incredible special effects tells me that you were really particular about where you spent that money. I don't even know how much you made. I mean, where'd your fundraiser get you? What'd you work with?
I think we had two Indiegogo campaigns, and I think in total it was I think about 50K. But you know how that works is you've got X amount that goes toward all your material costs and rentals for locations and paying for this and that, food and everything. So by the time you actually have money to utilize, it's not as much as you'd like.
It's halfway gone.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
the way that things are.
And it goes
very
fast.
Yeah. I think most of the stuff, because we don't own the rights to the movie, so a lot of that stuff came out of our own pockets. We did raise money, but when you do crowdfunding, you get $10,000. You don't get $10,000. You might raise 10,000, but a good chunk of that goes back to the crowdfunding. They take I think up to 30%, if not more.
I've heard that
right off the top, and then we're basically working off of people's donations. They're donating to the project, but in return, we're going to give them a perk. And then that perk costs time and money, especially the signs that Chuck was making, those lighted signs, which people are asking me all the time if you have any more of those, because I know they were paying the neck to make.
Yeah.
But, those little light up signs were awesome. A lot of stuff Tom was making.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's a lot of the cost goes into and locations.
Oh my God, yes, that is one thing we have heard numerous times. Locations are normally where you get nailed at.
Yep.
Yeah, we paid to use the mine, and then we went back to the mine a second time. That wasn't part of the plan, but we wanted to just get some reshoots, and weren't satisfied with some of the footage we got initially. So we got to pay to use the mine again. And then we had several Airbnbs that were booked. And long story short, we had another film crew all lined up to start shooting. We lost that crew, and we had to push back and cancel those Airbnbs and reschedule them. You don't get your money back.
Nope.
We lost
Or,
money.
you know,
Thousands of
so
dollars.
all those things,
Man.
it's, you know, it
That hurts.
adds up.
Yes, that
yeah,
stings.
and it stings a lot. So, but yeah, we, like Darren said, you know, we pulled together, and I don't know, want to think about how much, you know, of our own money that we've shelled out for this, but we believe that strongly in it, and we're that passionate about it that it's like, hey, we just step up and do it, and I think it shows, you know.
Oh, without a doubt. And by that time, I mean, you've already invested it. So what do you do? You can't just stop at that point. You can't put the brakes on because you've
Right.
already got so much into it. What you're not going to get anything back.
Yeah.
And Clint, how did we hear about this? Matt was the reason we heard about this, was it not?
Yeah, I mean, he was promoting it weeks before it hit YouTube, and once it did, I think it hit the page every single day.
Every
you know,
day.
you know,
That's awesome.
I think he was making memes about it and posting.
Well,
it in
because it
other groups, you know?
hit me. So it hit me and Clint kind of all of a sudden. Like we were like, "What is this movie about?" And then we're like, "Oh shit, this is a sequel to My Bloody Valentine. We need to check this out." And even on IMDb, I mean, it's gotten great reviews. I mean, I think it's holding at a 7.6, and for an indie movie, I mean, that's
Yeah, we're very
that's
thankful.
insanity. That's amazing.
But we also thank, you know, guys like you for having shows like this that help us promote it and talk about it. And without your support or even wanting to see it, you know, we're just making a movie for ourselves, but we want to make it for you know, other people to enjoy, you know.
That's
Yeah.
why we do what we do,
Sure.
man. I mean, that's
Thank you.
we've really taken a shine to the indie community. And I mean, honestly, we never meant to, you know, but we got really good friends, and we got really good people that do what you do, and we can't help but support them because, you know, Hollywood's stale. I mean, honestly, it's, you know, with a couple movies like Terrifier and Skinamarink and Smile and Cocaine Bear, I mean, you know, these off the wall movies that you don't know are going to succeed, and they do. Megan's another one. But you know, at some point, these worlds are just going to collide, because they're going to have to, because there's too much talent. There's just way too much talent in the indie scene to not kick it up to the next level, and that's why we do it. Like, if you guys move on, fantastic. You know, that's kudos to you, how talented you are. So that's why we do what we do, to make sure that people at least know what your project is, and that's why we do it.
Well, thank you guys. We appreciate that
Thank
so
you.
much.
But
Absolutely.
it would be cool to see you guys all get together again and make a film where you're allowed to make some money on it. That'd be cool.
Oh, we definitely are. We're
Something planned?
Other things, absolutely. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I assume it's nothing you're allowed to talk about yet. They're just ideas.
Oh, it's all no, actually no. 'Cause some of the things. So,
Exclusive.
Yep.
I want an exclusive.
no. So the YouTube page, the We's in Hollywood. That's a group of us that with Tom and I'm sure Chuck is involved and Christina will be involved. It's just a group of us that it's kind of like the Adam Sandler group. You know how they're always putting the same people together, we like the same kind of crew. We work good. We work well together. There's no fighting, no drama. It's just really nice and easy. And but Tom had an idea that him and Roland were talking about, where it's like an anthology. So kind of like the old Tales of the Crypt Keeper, you know, little mini stories. We have a couple of those that we're thinking about getting into, making little mini series, just, you know, and we're always interested in another feature length film, you know. So we have some things. At the moment, I'm not exactly sure. When it comes to the writing and that stuff, I'm kind of like, I come in with the special effects part, you know. I don't know much. Like Tom's really good with the writing and all that stuff, and then he also does the effects with me.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know if that really answered the question. But
No,
yeah,
you're good. I mean,
we're definitely going to have more projects that we're going to do. You know, I
Yeah.
don't think we can ever do a sequel to this. You know, we'd have to try to raise money again, and that was a very difficult
I was gonna
task.
say it's hard to
Yeah.
do. I mean, and
Yeah,
it's funny that you say with anthologies because me and Clint have seen. I mean, out of all indie genres, I'd say in horror, anthologies are. I don't want to say they're the easiest to make because no indie horror movie is easy to make. Let's get that out of the way. But anthologies seem to take really, really well in the indie scene. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Someone had said recently that the industry is heading more towards indie than the real big Hollywood movies, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe we're just doing things that are a little bit more down to earth or just more attainable. I don't know. You know, it's really cool seeing like a John Wick or like a, you know, Top Gun movie where you have all this really multi-million-dollar stuff. I think we still need to have that kind of movie.
Yeah.
We don't have a budget or the experience to do that kind of stuff. You need a lot of people for stuff like that. You know, but you know, we're just thankful that if we make something, people want to watch it. You know.
Yeah. Well, that's the important part. You know,
Right.
making it's one thing, getting it out there and having people watch it's another. So yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do our part to make sure that people see this. And I definitely want to get subscribe to the YouTube channel that you mentioned. So I'll probably have you say it again before we're done here. And then put that on the page so maybe some other people can check it out because you know, that's pretty cool. I like some of these independent projects, and it sounds like there's a lot of potential there. Even just filming some shorts, you could always like re-release them later in a special edition DVD or something. You know what I mean? Sounds like a lot of fun. So Christina, I don't feel like we spent enough time talking about how you got involved with this group of people.
No, we haven't. That's my fault.
So how did you
Sorry.
come into the mix?
Well, I worked on another film with Tom before this, and then he kind of talked to me about this idea that he was having about a sequel to My Bloody Valentine, and I was like, "Oh, I totally sign me up. I want to be a part of it. Whatever you want me to do, I'll do it." So, and it's been a great group to work with. Like Darren said, we work with the same people. Tom has brought back so many people that he likes and that work really well and are super talented. And I feel very grateful to be part of that. And it's just a great group of people to be around and work with.
Mhm. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I have a tendency to ask acting talent if they have any real inspiration when they go to do something. Did you have any like unique preparation walking into your role? Like, did you watch My Bloody Valentine like 16 times, or I mean, what'd you do?
I I did rewatch the original again because it had been a long time since I had seen it. So that was really a good experience. I read the whole script. I wanted to see what each character was going to be about and their experience and their deaths or almost deaths or whatever the situation would have it. But it was a great experience getting into my own character, creating Ginger and who she was. It was a lot of fun. Dying was great.
It was great. I was sad to see her go, but I had a lot of fun working with Christina and that scene. I tried to
It
take
was
care of her
great
when I
working
wasn't
with you,
killing her.
Chuck. Yes. Great scene partner. Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. And
Absolutely.
we did work together a little bit when we did the initial trailer. This is
Mhm.
going way back now, like I don't know, over
Yeah.
3 years ago, but that was cool. We specifically filmed footage that we were going to use to put together a trailer. So nothing from that trailer was ever
Gonna be in the
intended to
movie.
be in the final film. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So that was fun. That was when I first got introduced to Christina, and she was
Yeah.
awesome. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fun if I get to work with her again. So and I did.
Now I
Chuck,
want
you're
everybody to
absolutely
realize
awesome.
too. Show everybody your arm because she is a horror movie
Oh yeah, yeah.
fan. So
This is my ghost
that
face.
it's
He's my
no
fave.
joke. She's
Oh, I
got a
got a whole sleeve
Jason.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so
Carrie,
she's legit.
Freddie, Jason, Michael's back there somewhere. There he
That's
is.
him. There he is.
Awesome.
See, that's legit.
Very cool.
I've gotten my son into horror now too, so I'm really excited about
Good.
that.
Good. We need more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Need more youngins in horror.
Keep it going.
Yep.
So how'd y'all get Lloyd Kaufman in this thing?
Let's see.
Yeah, who
one
knew
of
who?
the yeah,
Yeah, somebody who's somebody.
Is
Yes,
it Courtney?
what
yeah, the
that was
woman that was
Courtney.
the
Courtney?
originally we had Dan Roebuck was going to be in that
Mhm.
scene, and then Dan, because of scheduling conflicts, we had and we had to reschedule. He was then on to the Munsters.
Yep.
So he was doing that, and the woman who played the reporter that was trying to interview Lloyd when he was coming out of the courthouse, and she's holding the mic to him. I believe, I don't know if that's a goddaughter or niece or related to him
yeah.
somehow.
I
Something
think
like
she's
that.
his goddaughter. Yeah. So
But
she was
she
our
found,
hookup.
yeah, I don't know if Tom had hired her on, and she then gave the script to Lloyd and said, "You got to read this." And he called us right away and said, "I want to be in it." And I don't know much details. Tom dealt most of that, but I know that it was that was a great experience. It was fun working with him. He had me laughing the whole time. When we they had that knife in his throat, I was worried about it not hanging there because he's talking to me as we're doing it, and I'm laughing and I'm trying to glue this thing up into his throat, and it's just making me laugh the whole time.
Well, he had me laughing,
Oh, I
especially
was.
with the reporter scene.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
He was a hoot, man. Yeah, we had him on set for a day, and just got made good use of the time the time that we got to spend with him, and I think he adds a lot to the film. His character, the
Absolutely.
mayor there, and yeah, that was fun working with him. So
Yeah. That was a really cool town hall meeting scene. I like
Oh,
that a lot.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
And I
amazing.
was supposed to be in that scene that day.
Yeah.
I called into work for my regular job, and that was the same day that we did all the Lloyd scenes. So I basically had to go to work. I missed out of being in that when Lloyd was yelling at everybody, and then I came at nighttime to do the kill scene with him. But yeah, I
I
wanted
was
to
going to
in
be
there.
in that too, but
I hope I never get
scheduling or
cast in a
something.
movie because
Yeah.
I will be like, "Fuck you guys! I'm going to be in a movie. I'm going to go get paid nothing."
you'll
but I
get
don't
fired
care.
to go there. I got you.
Yeah, 100%. I'm going to get fired and hired on the same day. So I'll be like, "Guys, look, I'm not leaving now. You got to cast me in a bigger role."
right.
Yeah.
It was
So-
fun. Good time.
That's awesome. So there's a line in the film basically where TJ is talking to the local law enforcement, and they're getting ready to go down in a mine, and he's like, "You can't fire a gun in a mine." And I was just curious what the reasoning was for that line. I mean, I'm using my imagination. I'm thinking we're talking about ricochets and possibly ignition of gas sources.
Yeah,
So-
it's ignition. That's what we were told by the staff about. You guys aren't going to have any kind of prop guns or anything that's going to. And they're also worried about us damaging the ecosystem down there. So like you can't bring certain things down there because they don't want any certain bacteria and
Mhm.
things. They take that stuff really serious. But
Oh wow.
I guess apparently, if there were like gases down there, which I mean, I didn't notice anything when I was down there, but not that I don't know if you can really smell it. But yeah, shooting a gun would be an issue. Yeah, that's what they told us. So I, kind of.
No, again, they don't want any
Believe it.
liability,
Makes
so
sense.
they'll
Yeah.
whatever they need to tell you, keep you from doing it. They'll tell you.
Well, it played in nicely to the way Tom wrote the script as well, because later on, when we see the deputy come into the mine, he's not as experienced being on the job. He brings his gun in there, and then we thought it'd be a good way to just disarm him immediately, and that's what the miner does, knocks the gun out of his hand. So then we don't even have to deal with the gun issue. But
That is true.
they did go that route in the remake, and it's a movie, you just go with it. But
Yeah.
I'm like, I think in reality it's extremely dangerous to firing any explosive down there. So let's not have it and be
Yep.
truer to
Yep.
truer to real life.
Mm-hmm. And I don't want to give too much away, but there is an extended final scene here, and from what I remember about the original movie, I feel like there's another character teased at the end of this
He's
that
a
may have been from the original.
he's
And
a
I'm not gonna say it. Just want to know, is that the intention? Are we trying to tease something from the original there?
There was no tease. It was pretty deliberate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you know, you know.
Yep.
All right.
But yeah, I won't. If you guys don't want to say, I won't say.
We
No,
want
I
people.
these
We want
to
people to
watch
watch.
this movie.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
what we want.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
definitely for sure.
All right. Fantastic.
Yep.
And again, I mean, the biggest thing with this is that this has a cult following. I mean, My Bloody Valentine has a cult following, so it's not going to be hard to convince people to be like, hey, you want to see a sequel? It's fan made. It's an indie sequel, but it's almost hard to say that because again, the way that the aesthetics look, the way that it's presented, I mean, it's like it's just a continuation. It's like that's just how well everything's shot, and lighting, cinematography, sound, those are, I mean, honestly, those are your three biggest things, honestly, to me. I mean, your video, like you said, it can be 2K, 4K, 1080p, whatever it is, but I can see whatever it is. But if I can't hear it,
Yeah.
I don't even want to watch it at that point, because I'm like, I'm not watching a movie with subtitles
No.
or anything like that. But I'm like, I can see it. Can I hear it? We're good. And this, I mean, guys, look, I
Oh.
mean, this movie's damn near perfect.
Guthrie Lowe did the score for the film, and I think he captured it just beautifully. Just there's some certain scenes that are just my favorites just because of the music that he put in there. And but you're right, it's all those things encompassing help just bring you in, draw you into that world. And yeah, he did a wonderful job on that.
I was lucky enough, the band, I'm in a band, Pocono Posse, and the music you hear in there is most of our music. The score, it was country, but then the actual music was us. And I remember Tom, we're worried because this does have a huge cult following, and I knew when we were challenged to come up with the end theme song when the credits roll, that no matter what we do, we were nervous because you're going to compare it to the original, and then the original is more of like a country folk kind of song,
Mhm.
where ours is more of a harder rock type of song. And so that was a challenge, because we figured, well, we'll put something out there, and then people are going to like it or not, and we hope people like it, and but so far, for the most, the people that were fans of the original, they've been pretty gracious to us, and they haven't beaten us up too bad.
Oh, I loved it. The first time I heard it, I loved it. And I said, this is so fitting a song. And at the time I didn't know it was going to be put in the end credits, but it fits perfectly.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
dead
a
on.
great,
Yeah, well,
it's a great track.
Tom had this idea where he wanted the movie to end, and then you were going to see Chuck walking. Where that was the original idea, and then you would start hearing a couple seconds of the original song. So you think the movie's over, you hear the original song, then you hear a record screech, and then it kicks into our song. So the first thing we did was I watched the movie several times with my guitar and just played along with the movie, just watching the original, just whatever inspired me. And then and what I would do, I'd send ideas back and forth to the band. They'd send their ideas back, and because of COVID, everything was locked down. The version you hear in the movie when it comes in, that was the first and only time we ever played that song as a band. So we basically, like, our singer would send me he would sing, like, I'd send him like a rough guitar and bass track, and then like a drum track, and then he would sing into his phone and then send that back to me. And then I would send that to the drummer, and the drummer would try to play along with it, but we never could get that to work right. So we had no idea what the song was going to sound like until we got in the studio. And again, we were in a rush to get it finished. We did, I think, 2 takes, maybe 3, but we stuck with the first one. Which, Chuck, I think when you heard the first version, it was really slow, and then the newer version was way faster. So I didn't even know what the song would sound like until we recorded it, and then we like, yep, it worked, let's keep it. And but we unfortunately lost one of our members. So I ended up doing guitar because I also play bass in the band. So I ended up going on guitar with our other guitar player, and so now we're down one person, but we found ways of playing the song. We can still sound kind of roughly the same.
Okay. Well, that's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But
Sometimes the first ones, the first take's the best take. That's what we've been told.
Mhm.
Sometimes because then you kind of force it, like you kind of plan it out, but sometimes the first take, it's like you don't plan anything because it's the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that with making movies too, where like a director might say, "Hey, let's do a dry run," and they just happen to turn on the camera and and use that take.
Yep.
Yeah. And sometimes you get the
Yep.
best one with the first one, and you do the other ones just to have extra, just in
Backups, yeah.
case. But yeah,
Backup.
yeah,
Blooper reel.
yeah.
Very cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely, guys. Clint, you got anything else to add, brother? I don't want to keep these guys on here too long.
No,
Although
I feel like we got a really good take
I'm
here.
having a
So
great. Yeah, I feel like the first take's the best take.
that's right.
We don't have to do a lot of editing here.
But I do want to hear what your plans are with the movie moving forward, and what some good places are that people can go to get information about you and this project and maybe upcoming projects. I just plug what you want.
So anybody can go on any of our social media, Valentine Bluffs fan film, to find out, to just follow what we're doing. Updates with different things. We're going to be having a really cool contest that starts tomorrow, actually, and it runs through. So it starts March 17th and it runs through April 17th, and we got some really, really cool prizes that we're giving away for that. The details of the contest will be posted on our social media tomorrow. And it's just basically the contest is find all the Easter eggs that we have hidden throughout the movie.
God damn, Clint, go for it, because Clint takes pride in that.
I'll go back and watch it again.
Yeah. So yeah, that contest starts tomorrow, and basically, just go to our YouTube channel, which is Wheeze and excuse me, Wheeze in Hollywood, and in the comment section there, you can enter your guesses, and then we're going to be doing a few conventions this year. We just booked Flashback Weekend in Chicago, which is I think early August. So we'll be vendors at that convention, and may have another one later this year as well that will be vending at. So and yeah, so check out our social media, follow us, keep updated there, and there'll be some more things posted, I think, on the Wheeze in Hollywood channel with the upcoming film projects too that the guys are working on. So
Cool. Very cool. Yeah. Doing any film festivals or anything like that?
That's kind of still up in the air. There's a possibility. I know that's kind of Tom's more, that's more his forte, but yeah, it's an option, like to keep things on the table. So
Very
Always.
cool. Darren, you got big things going on with the Pocono Posse?
Yeah, we have a couple jobs lined up. I don't know if anything's official yet, but Pocono Posse is a Southern rock band. So we get invited. We're going to be doing Southern Rock Woodstock, which is like it's a tour that goes on across the country. And we're only playing right now. I think we're playing in Phillipsburg, Pennsylvania. It's a couple hours away from where I am. And that's actually a big event that raises money for vets, wounded veterans and things. We have that. There's another event we play, Rock Ribs and Ridges, festivals like that. But we're primarily just getting in, trying to write some more music. You can find us online at PoconoPosse.com. And then for me, you can get through to me, just Darren Pastor on Facebook. And I'm horrible at posting stuff. I got some stuff up on Instagram at Toberoni. So I got to figure out how to change my name on it, but it's Toberoni, Toberroni. You can find me on Instagram there, and I have some things posted, but I'm horrible at taking pictures of stuff. You know, I mean, I have tons of pictures of all the effects that we did. At some point, I got tons of Christina, you know, in process of the makeup. You know, at some
too.
point we could get together with everybody and see what we can do about releasing all this stuff, because I think it's fun to see, you know, and I think people would be interested in seeing what the behind the scenes stuff, you know.
Oh,
100%.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
no
That's
doubt.
always a cool thing to see.
Yeah, we'll be posting some more of that stuff. We've started doing a little bit, but yeah, we'll be posting more on our Valentine Bluffs social media pages. So yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
You know, just we have a lot of stuff. Tom and I are talking. We got some projects. I'm not familiar with exactly what we have planned, so we're just gonna have a meeting come up here in a month or so, and we're just gonna sit down and shoot these ideas together and kind of see what our next project will be.
Very cool.
Absolutely awesome.
Christina, what do you got going on other than being a mom?
I actually am scheduled to be in another film next month, and I'll be working with an actress from my very favorite movie, Scream. I can't say who she is, but I'm really excited about that. So yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. I've got some
Another
ideas in my
horror
head, but I
film.
won't
Oh
say
yeah,
them.
I've already got two that are just bang bang.
And people can follow you on social media somewhere to find out what you got going on.
I got a Facebook page, Christina Mana Actress. I've got my Instagram page as well, Christina__Mun. Yeah, you can follow me on there. I post any films that I'm working on, any personal stuff I do, traveling. I love to travel. So yeah.
Got it.
Very cool.
And be a mom.
And be a
And be a
mom.
mom.
Well, guys,
Another cool
My
thing.
kids
don't be shy posting anything on our page that you got going on.
Yeah,
Cool.
share with us.
Yeah, I
We
mean,
wanna see
because
it.
again, we want people
Yeah.
to know what this is and know that it exists. And again, you got Matt Skinner that isn't going to let it die easily, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
Mhm.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes,
So-
thank you.
No,
Yeah.
really helps us big time.
Absolutely, yeah. So don't be afraid to post anything about the movie, anything upcoming. Throw it on our page, Hamityville Horror Podcast is where we're at on Facebook. So I mean, yeah, we're not shy. Put whatever you want there.
Mhm.
We love everybody.
Awesome.
Cool,
So-
cool.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well,
Thank you for having us.
absolutely, guys.
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you
guys.
for coming.
Whenever you want to come back on, let us know and we'll go at it again.
We'll do.
All right.
All right, guys.
Appreciate it.
You'll have a good one.
You too.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.